The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Fred in St. Pete. Hey, Fred, what's going on?
Hey, my man, Tom. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
No complaints of being positive. Just started listening to your show recently, and you've been more spot on than everybody else on the TV. And you just came across real positive.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, after I listened to you, I got hooked on. I had to track you down and find you on the internet and everything else.
Well, you know, I got to give you this disclaimer, because this is what it is. Fred, this is like Hotel California. Once you check in, you can't check out, you know.
I see that. Sounds like a drug.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Well, welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Surrender and let go of the past. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully in the moment. When you let go of the past, I just know this by heart. When you let go of the past, it means that you can enjoy the dream that is happening right here, right now. Yesterday's gone, tomorrow's not here. What are you doing right now, folks? Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 44, NASDAQ up 37, S&P's up 10, gold contract up $23, trading at $1,837 an ounce. Silver up 80 cents at $40.96 an ounce. Platinum up $6.80 at $1,813 an ounce. Copper flat at $3.97 a pound. Light sweet crude up $1.81 at $90 a barrel. Bonds down 0.5 ticks, trading out at 140.07. Dollar index down 56 ticks at 77.09. The euro is up 4 ticks at 136, and the yen is trading out at 76.89. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? We got down yesterday to a price point of 1136 on the cash. That 1136 was coming into the 9th and the 18th of August, dramatically lighter volume, 1 billion versus 1.5 and 2 billion shares. So it rejected the low, has lighter volume. The consolidation we're in, the top of the consolidation is 1230. What do we do today? We go up 10 points. It's dying on the vine as you go up. Bottom line did 960 million. You know, we want to get up there, but boy, it's a slow haul up into those higher numbers. That's your S&P. We go look at the Dow Industrial, same setup in the Dow. What do you have with the Dow? Dow is up 44 bucks. And, excuse me, folks, we're at 11,105, and basically the volume's dying on the vine. You know, can I make it up there? Yeah, I can. I don't like the looks of this right now, though, I can tell you that. The composite, what you have is this. We have 37 bucks. You did 1.9 billion. Well, first off, what the composite did do, no doubt, came down, rejected lower price yesterday, had dramatically lighter volume. When I say dramatically lighter, we're talking about 2 billion versus 3.3 billion and 2.5 and 4 billion. So big time. Today we did 1.9 billion. Now, the composite's at 25.32. It's going to make its run into this 25.57. That's the bottom of the highs. It's going to go after. It's going to go after that higher level. Inside the NDX 100, let's take a look at the NDX 100. NDX 100 goes up today 72 cents. 56 million shares traded. We're at 54.58. Now, what you have there is this: the swing point is 55.74, which no doubt should be easy to get into. Which I suspect we're going to get into it tomorrow. You have 60 million up there. You know, we'll see whether it can do it. When it gets up there, it's going to die on the vine. Now, the SMHs. The SMHs, folks, Semiconductor Holders Trust is the baby that you want to keep your eye on. The reason being is that the Semiconductor Holders Trust, we did 11 million shares today. Now, the high of this consolidation in the Semiconductor Holders Trust is $29.96. We hit 29.76 today, and it has good juice behind it. You had 11 million shares behind it. We need approximately, you need about 18 million shares getting up to those levels. Inside the Semiconductors Holders Trust, Intel had a good day out here. You know, Intel almost made it to the swing point. Intel was up 48 cents. The swing point is we're at $20.76. The swing point on Intel is 21.07. So it was 17 cents away from it. What it has, however, is that it has juice behind it. Intel had 59 million shares traded, and you know you only got to do, well, you got to do 75 up there. But bottom line is that Intel was acting pretty well today. We go inside the NDX 100 and we take a look at the stronger stocks versus the weaker stocks, and this is what you had. First Solar, Vertex Pharmaceutical, Fastenal, and Expedia was the juice on the way up. On the way down, taken away from it, the biggest one was Priceline. Now check this out. This is where this gets interesting. So I'll start with Priceline. Priceline was down 1%, but Priceline was a normal pullback in an equity that actually wants to get into this 549. So that's saying, when you look at that, if I take the weakest indice that was inside the NDX 100, that's saying, you know what, the NDX 100, Priceline in particular, wants to make the run for the highs once again. So when you put that together, it's like, okay, you're going to make those highs. How we get there, meaning we got there really weak today, I suspect it's going to be weak tomorrow, and I expect what you're going to see there is you're going to see a flip around the other side, meaning right back down to the other side of the consolidation that we're in. What we do have is we have option expiration Friday, and the real movement, folks, okay, and an option expiration week is normally on Wednesday. You know, today I've seen some monster moves on Wednesday. So tomorrow, get ready for some action. Over in Europe today, what you had the DAX. Wide price spring on the DAX. The DAX was down 2.5%, ended up being up 1.8%. You had Cat Carroll, same deal. That ended up 1 4/10. The FTSE was up 0.8%. If we go look at the FTSE, what you have, you know, she's building a base, but there's not much I can tell you right across all markets at all times in this particular case. Now, coming out of Greece, okay, this is what you have. Well, what you have in Greece is that the bottom line is that you've had Merkel from Germany, you've had Sarkozy from France, saying bottom line is that Greece is not going to default. Depending on how long you've been listening to me, I said quite a while ago, they should not only default, but they should just wipe it out, period. The reason being, folks, is that what ends up happening is that that's the only way that you can basically start again. And that was said in the context, number one, that I've seen it before, and number two, what ends up happening is this, is that it's the banks that are on the hook for all this bread. Okay, now the contagion is going to be bad, all of that's going to be bad, but they're in the risk business. But so check this out. What came across the tape today, see, little by little, the whole world knows that Greece is going to default. So now the next question is, well, what do you default on? Now, my feeling in whether it's business, whether it's competitive, whether, you don't do anything halfway. You either do it or you don't do it, okay? You know that card I read, get rid of the grayness in your life. You want a black or white, okay? There's no reason to do something and, half. That makes no sense at all. Well, today what you had is that Mario Blurger, who was the former Bank of England advisor, who took over the Argentina bank, the central bank, in 2001, he's the guy, folks, okay, that pulled the plug for Argentina when Argentina basically defaulted on all their debt. And the reason I'm bringing it up is this. They're getting ready for this deal. They're getting the market ready for it. They're getting everything else ready for it. So here's his quote, okay? Greece should default and defaults big. This was the advisor to Mervyn King, and Mervyn King, by the way, bottom line, Mervyn King's the one that sold all of England's gold at $250, so that was a joke. But he was his advisor from 2002 to 2008. And what he's talking about specifically is that if you're going to pull the plug, well, you should pull the plug straight across all the deals. Now, see, what the banks do is this, and this is what's so funny about Merkel. Merkel is claiming that, no, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. It's like, well, why would you do that when you know that you can't pay, okay, for what is there? That's the bottom line. I mean, they're paying interest rates right now, folks, anywhere between 60 and 100%. Okay, so first off, they don't have any money. They're paying those interest rates. You know, when push comes to shove, do you want to see how sick this is going to be, folks? When push comes to shove, this is what looks to me like in a longer-term deal. And this example, folks, let me tell you something. You don't want to go broke. And the reason you don't want to go broke is that everyone else is going to take advantage of the situation when you go broke. So watch it. Watch how I suspect this is going to play out. You have a European Union with 17 nations that have to agree on something, right? You absolutely have certain nations that the majority of the people absolutely don't want to work. They've got paid, you know, they're basically, you know, they're paid to do nothing. It's always an us against them deal. And when I specifically mean us against them, it's the government against the citizens. And as the government keeps getting bigger, the only place that they can go for sale is to tax people. Well, once they finish taxing everyone, there's no one else to tax, then they don't want to work anyway because they've been getting all these checks. So what ends up happening next? Well, then in the European Union type of deal, they went to the countries that have more money. Those countries, those banks in those countries took the risk of turning around and saying, okay, we're going to give them more money. And I suspected when they were saying they were going to do that, they felt that there wasn't going to be a sovereign debt deal, right? Well, bottom line is that when you do that mathematically, there's no more money left at a certain point. Okay, so now let's go to the next step. The next step is that you have Greece goes bankrupt, a few others go bankrupt. They say that's it, you're going to wipe them out. Now, once they get wiped out, what is the next deal? The next deal is basically, you know, they have basically a fiscal monetary union. There's going to be a full union. This is going to take a while, but the way it's going to go is this. Can you imagine the negotiation on the other side? The negotiation on the other side is that they're going to come back and say, I want this. Well, they're going to say, well, you're going to get nothing. You're going to get nothing, or you're going to deal like this. Or you're going to sell us the islands, okay? The bottom line, the point is, folks, don't spend over your head and don't go broke. You know why? Because the creditor on the other side is going to basically take it and take it deep.